Good morning and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here this morning with Mercy and Fred, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Mercy's ability to understand and respond to her formal on-leash obedience commands. The motivation, lots of motivations with her and little tiny corrections that we give when we're working with her, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of that leash folded neatly in his right hand. That leaves his left hand free to give any tug and release that's necessary, which is our only method of correction. We are using your martingale collar, and if you notice, Mercy's sitting very nicely at Fred's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. The first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. Heeling is nothing more than proper leash walking, and the command is Mercy heel. Now at this point, Mercy has a job to do, and that is to maintain pace with you when you're walking, not forging ahead, lunging out, or lagging behind, but maintaining pace with you on walks, so that if you encounter another dog on a walk, or you see a cat or a squirrel or a bird, that she stays even with your left leg, and she's always more focused on you than what's going on around her. You see her looking up at Fred for her next command, and the next command that we're going to demonstrate for you is the sit stay. The stay is a hand and voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, we do not use her name. The long sit stay, when you're practicing at home, start out at a minute and work up to 3 minutes. Don't introduce distractions right away like the cats or the other dogs. Work with her one-on-one until you get her full focus. When Fred returns back to her, he walks counterclockwise around her back to heel position, and he stops at her shoulders. He gives her a pat for praise, and they take off heeling again. And praise is our positive reinforcement. We don't use treats for positive reinforcement, we use praise. That way you have a well-behaved dog even if you don't have a pocket full of treats. She's looking up at you and waiting for you to praise her, letting her know that she's doing a good job. Fred leaves her again in another sit stay. He walks out to the end of the leash and he turns to face her. And this time, instead of returning back to her, Fred will demonstrate the come on command. She should come right in and she should sit facing your knees. And then she should go back to heel position. And that is the recall exercise. She is the sweetest girl in the world, and we've had her within 6 feet of our 17-year-old cat, and she really couldn't care less. Of course, the cat couldn't care less either, so that made it easier for us. If a cat's not reactive, a dog tends to be less reactive. She's been very friendly to the other dogs here. She says good morning to everybody. Fred leaves her in another sit stay and turns to face her. You don't want to rush through the exercise, and you can practice indoors as well as outdoors. Fred will call her. Just simple Mercy comes. She comes right in front and sits. She's very mature. She's very stable. I can understand that it takes her a few minutes to warm up to a new person, but she's a sweetheart, and we've enjoyed every second of her being here. Nice automatic sits, so when you stop to cross traffic or talk to someone on the street, she's sitting very nicely at your left. Now the next command that we're going to demonstrate for you is your down from a heel position. So with the dog seated at your left, you're going to use your left open palm straight down toward the ground, the one-word command to down and stay. And she is so very compliant. If she gets up, Fred tells her no and puts her back into the down stay. And that's all he had to do. He didn't have to, you know, tug on her or be harsh with her. He just gave her a firm no, repeated the command. You're going to practice your long down stay up to 5 minutes. When Fred returns back to her, again, he walks all the way around her, returning back to her shoulders. He heels her out of that, and he will demonstrate that exercise again for you. We're going to miss her. She's such a sweetheart. So with her seated first, left open palm straight down toward the ground, one word command to down and stay. Don't let her sniff or be distracted. If she drops her head, you tell her no. This time Fred will call her out of that down stay. She comes right in and sits. She wants to be on top of you really more than anything else. She just wants to get loved. Fred heels her back to face the camera, and the next exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is your down from a distance. So you're going to leave her in a sit stay. You're going to turn to face her. This is the only time that you're going to use your right hand to give the command. You're going to drop her into a down from a distance. Perfect. Now we have demonstrated for you all of Mercy's formal on-leash obedience commands. She has done a great job with those, as well as being very social here at school with all of the trainers, all of the other animals. She has not shown any aggression, so we're going to be helping you get through this with her at home so that she doesn't regress. And anytime that you need us, all you have to do is pick up the phone. We want you to have a happy holiday, and we want to thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.